I got to get in character here. This is me as Berkin. I am now frozen in carbonite.
All right, well, we will talk to you later.
Yeah, we just put you on mute. Be good to go, right? Use the force, Berkin.
No, that's the opposite of what. That's exactly what we don't want.
Yeah, the entire reason why KO even suggested this was there is the off chance possibility that it's going to blunt my ability to be seen through the force or whatnot.
Yeah, KO has no evidence of this, but he's just thinking maybe if his life signs are basically, dimmed down, that will also dim his force presence.
Yeah, I would like to know this in canon if that would work like that. That's what I'd like, because I think that's an interesting thing. They should put Grogu in carbonite and see what happens.
All right, yeah. So I'm in the Terminator pose, frozen solid, a cube of carbonite. KO, can you even carry me?
No, I would imagine I've got you on a little a hover cart.
Repulsor lift.
A repulsor lift cart. I wouldn't carry you. That's menial labor.
Wait, no,
don't they have repulsors built into them? Don't they float on their own?
Yeah, yep. I think it's like an anti-gravity thing.
Fucking everything's got repulsors in Star Wars.
Even lightsabers.
God damn it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Even lightsabers.
Repulsors make everything cooler.
Honestly, they kind of do. Yeah, so we have Berkin and KO on the ship. Not really sure what their plan is going forward here.
Do you want to know the terrible plan?
If you got a terrible plan.
Oh, it's terrible.
We can start with that. I wouldn't mind.
My plan is to let KO run the show and go.
First of all, so we're in the ship. The ship is in the hangar of this Star Destroyer. What's the situation of the hangar?
The hangar bay?
Yeah. Are there guards? Is there a big gun pointed at the ship? Like control tower, I guess.
Well, there's definitely stormtroopers in here. The majority of them, they're not drawing down on the ship or overly cautious about, the ship that's in the hangar. They're transitioning through the hangar into different rooms. Some are guarding like the main entrances and exits, standing at guard at the ready. Typical comings and goings of the various crew aboard the Star Destroyer, that sort of thing.
Okay.
People seem to be alert, but not actively alert.
Well, my terrible plan is to smuggle Berkin off the ship and into the. I told you it's terrible, and into further into the Star Destroyer. So, is there a back door of some kind to Zatuz's deceit, a side exit that we can use, not the main exit ramp?
So you've put Berkin into a carbonite block, and now you're pushing him off the ship onto the Star Destroyer.
Well, I'm hoping that there's an egress point that lowish to the ground, and that we can, like a smuggle. I don't know.
Is that even important?
I just dump him off in a janitor's closet and leave.
Just dump me off the ship from any height.
So in terms of
if I can't if there isn't anything like that, then I'll go out the main door. But I'm just trying to see. I want to try to at least quote unquote sneak off the ship.
So here's what we know. Here's what we know about the deceit. You have two primary entrances and exits to the ship. You have a loading ramp, and you have a cargo elevator.
Ooh, like the sound of that.
Both are quite obvious to use. Now, if there's some sort of secret way off the ship, we haven't defined anything like that currently.
So I could define something like that, maybe flip a destiny point that we haven't rolled yet.
Yeah, we should do the destiny points if you want to flip a destiny point.
I think we're going to do that.
Okay.
Provided we roll some light side.
It's a good plan.
Grix has rolled 2 light side.
Laird rolled 1 dark side.
KO rolled 1 dark side.
The GM has rolled 2 light side. And how about the carbonite block?
Carbonite block rolls 2 light side.
Man, we are loaded today, boys.
Today's the comeback.
So we got 6 light side points and 2 dark side points.
So then, can I use a light side point here to retroactively include an offloading section, like a kind of like a cargo, not a cargo elevator, but like a little side compartment on the ship that we would use to surreptitiously get things on and off, like that's not near the other obvious egress points.
No, you can't use a light side point for that. That's not going to cost you a light side point because things about the ship we're still determining. So we can definitely do that, but you don't need to spend a light side point is what I was trying to sneakily say.
You're like, no. I'm like, oh.
I was going the roundabout direction to
it's like no, won't use a light side point, but no. Like, oh, that's just a regular no then. But cool.
Yeah, so things about the ship. I mean, we're still establishing the ship every day. We establish something new, something more. And I do like that you would have a sort of a secret smuggling way to get in and off of the ship for, various goods or people or whatever. I think the only problem is that it's going to be off of the ground. So you're going to have to kind of probably 10 feet off the ground. I imagine this is like a panel, like a panel that you can slip off of the side of the ship. And
all right, well, the carbonite block has repulsors on it. I don't know, probably just huck it out and let the repulsors catch it. Maybe.
Hopefully.
I also have the force move ability, but if I use the force, that 100% negates me having Berkin in a potentially force suppressing carbonite block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's only like a 10-foot fall, so I don't think it would be too bad for you anyway.
Okay, well, I said it was terrible, so that's what we're going for. So KO will navigate Frozen Berkin to our hidden exit point, our smuggling Jeffrey's tube. Kind of, how's the word? Hatch, yeah. Our secret smuggling hatch that JC Tillo does not know about.
Yep. Just to get on and off the ship under curfew.
Yeah. Or, bringing stuff aboard that we don't want JC to know about.
Yeah. It's like the whole smuggling area.
Yeah.
Well, one day she's going to be doing the math of, square footage on the ship and be like, something doesn't add up. We're missing a lot of room here that I don't know about.
Can I, if that ever happens, I'm going to want to maybe have it be booby trapped.
Absolutely. The anti-JC Tillo trap.
Yeah. Have there be like a code phrase that you have to know in order to not get burned alive by the flamethrowers that turn on when you go in.
Yeah, or like it's the only door that you have to go through that requires no protocols taken versus like the protocols to get into every other door or whatever.
Yeah.
And when you use the protocols, like, I don't know, explodes something. I don't know.
So go ahead, JC. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Just swipe in or whatever.
All right. So KO's wheeling or floating Berkin to the smuggling hatch.
Sure.
And I guess when we get there, we'll pop that open and look around and pop on through quietly,
okay.
Stealthily.
Yeah.
Carefully.
Let's do this as a stealth check, I guess. Do this whole scene as a stealth check.
Do you want me to roll stealth as well?
No, you're a carbonite block with repulsors. I think you're fine.
I want the inanimate carbonite block to roll some checks. All right, difficulty.
We'll give this a difficulty of average, so 2 purples. But we'll give you a setback die for the carbonite block.
Sure. I'm going to flip a point for to upgrade a die.
Sounds good. One way or another, I'm spending one of these fucking points today.
God damn it. All right. That's 2 failures and 2 advantages.
Oh, no.
Clang!
Okay, so you poke your head out of the hatch. You look around. Coast seems pretty clear. You grab the carbonite block from behind you. You push it out the door or out the hatch. And you follow it down. And what happens is you fall towards the ground. The repulsors on the block begin to glitch. They hit the ground, not loudly, but they hit the ground. And it ends up deactivating the carbonite block. So Berkin begins to unfreeze on the spot. And your advantages are that somehow this happened at a moment of transition in the room. So the stormtrooper guards were switching out for other guards, and you remain unseen by this. However, Berkin is unfreezing from his carbonite freeze. How's that?
Well, it's not ideal, but I guess
Not ideal.
given that I failed and we haven't been detected yet.
How quickly does it take to get somebody out of carbonite?
I don't think it takes too long. I think it takes about the same amount of time that it takes to like freeze someone. So it looks like just a couple seconds. And I think the longer you're frozen, the more sickness you suffer. But you've only been in a carbonite block for like all of 5 minutes tops. So I think you're probably fine. I think it feels like you've just
Did I
had
get some boost today?
Sure. Boost die to your next check, Berkin.
All right. I look. So the first thing I do is I get up and I stretch and I kind of like gauge how much time has passed, because I don't think I'd have a pretty good understanding as to the passing of time while I'm in while I'm frozen.
Yeah, I don't know how that works canonically.
So yeah, I'll look around and I definitely notice that I'm no longer inside the ship. So I immediately are there stormtroopers around? Like, could I see one from my position?
I think you can, but there's a lot of there's like a lot of various.
Is there like a ship leg or something that I can hide behind?
Yeah, like the landing ramp to the deceit is down. The cargo lift is down, and you guys can kind of where you fall out. It's kind of high. It's kind of behind all of that, so you can take cover behind those two components.
Okay, so that's exactly what I do. So I assess the situation. I immediately try to find some more concrete cover, and then I scan the area for KO.
Okay, you find KO. He's nearby, not far away. Maybe just recovering from the fall from the smuggling hatch.
KO just puts his finger in front of his faceplate and with one finger up, motioning for quiet.
Oh yeah, I nod my head in assent and motion him to come over.
Clang, clang, clang.
Okay, we're gonna get over to Grix and Lurd in a second here, but now that you're off of the ship and no one's kind of really seemed to notice, what is your plan? Where do you plan to go here?
Dude, I didn't think we'd get off the ship.
It's okay.
Gotcha.
So hold on. So the plan is going to be basically to get into the ship, find a data terminal, and find out why they're after us. Because we don't know. Berkin and I don't know why they're after us, really.
It's well, technically, you guys don't know that they're after you yet.
Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna hit a data terminal and get some more information. Like why in the hell is this ship? Did we just get nabbed? What's going on?
Okay.
All right. So we can find that information. I'm quiet. It's all right. But more importantly, we need to make sure that we can disable the tractor beam so we don't get caught again when we try to leave. Right. So what do we want to do first?
We find a data terminal. I should be able to determine why we have been captured, and also should find a location of the tractor beam controls.
I saw this in a movie once called Star Wars.
I saw in this old movie where an old guy had to sneak into a space station.
All right. So do we want to split up or do we want to stay together?
Well, we need to stay together.
Okay.
If you find a data terminal on your own, what will you do?
I mean, I am a hacker, so I will just hack my way into the computer terminal.
Okay, if you want to go your own way, fine.
That's okay. Well, I'm more concerned that...
I mean, honestly, it might be better if we did. I could blend into the ship better on my own.
We're going to split the party again.
I was going to say, man, let's do a 3-way split now.
We've already split the party once.
Grix and Lurd, you guys got to split up too.
You know what? Let's stay together. You're right. I was simply trying to get this done in as quickly of a time as possible, but I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference. I'm sure Grix and Lurd will.
As a security droid, I do have better odds on my own navigating the ship.
All right, you're a security droid. That's fantastic. How about I play the despondent prisoner?
That's exactly what my plan was to begin with.
I hold my hands out and say, "All right, you caught me."
Well, first let's see if we can get through the hangar undetected. we'll save the prisoner angle for later.
Okay, so we get the scene of KO. We get the scene of Berkin and KO discussing things, talking about getting out of the hangar, and we cut away with them escaping the hangar safely, and we cut over to Grix and Lurd, who are sitting in a waiting room with their old associate, friend, enemy, however you stand, a person from their past, Nephrim, a Chiss mechanic that they met once upon a time on the moon of Nar Shaddaa, and then eventually brought to Nal Hutta to be given to Jabba the Hutt for the deaths of Geeta and Tarbu the Hutt. And she has just sat down before you. She's taken off her helmet. She's kicked her feet up on the table and revealed her face to you. She says, "I've had one hell of a day, boys. How are you?"
Nephrim.
Grix?
How did, what, it's been, what, okay.
How did you get
happened?
here?
It's been too long, I know. What happened? Well, let's see. I did a job to kill a Hutt. Well, provide a means to kill a Hutt. Did that. And then I was taken in by the four of you and given to Jabba the Hutt. That's what happened. Remember?
Well,
Yes,
I
yes, no,
remember.
but since
Vividly.
that,
Oh, yeah, since that.
we thought that was kind of going to be the end of old Nephrim.
and we felt bad about that. But we had no choice.
I
What
know.
happened?
I
What
know
happened?
you had no choice. That's fine. You're doing your job just as I did my job. I did not expect it to turn to such... Well, I didn't expect it to go that way, but no, it's fine. That's fine. What happened is I was given to Jabba, tortured for the information, as she gestures to the scars on her face. It's just a small sample of them. And after a while, I was no longer of use, so I was sold into slavery. Not the slavery that I would have liked, though. Turns out, I tried to escape once, and I may have used the Force to do that. I failed in my escape, as you can tell. And then Jabba, seeing that I was Force sensitive, sold me to the Empire. And now I am what you see. In short, how about you? What happened to you guys? I remember Berkin said that he would come for me, look for me, try to make it right, something like that. That never happened.
Berkin always intended to come looking for you. In fact, he's spoken about it on many occasions. I think he had a deep interest in yourself, Nephrim, but don't know why he never came. Maybe he just hadn't found the time yet.
Yes, it is unfortunate, but that is all in the past now. Where is Berkin and KO anyway? They were down on planet, on Ryloth. I mean, hell, that's how I discovered you all were there. I guess they didn't want to come off the ship.
Hold on. You found out we were there because of Berkin and KO on planet?
Well, because of Berkin, really.
How did Berkin alert you to our presence on this planet side?
Well, you know the Sith holocron that you have, right?
I'm not aware of any such things, but we were transporting artifacts recently, but
Yes, the object that is shaped like a pyramid. That is a Sith holocron. That object, I'm sure you have one.
tell me about this Sith holocron, Nephrim. Is this of importance to you and the Empire?
No, I mean, I'm sure it is important to the Empire. It is important to me, but for different reasons than it would be for the Empire.
What's your motive here? Are you working for the Empire, or is this a personal goal?
You don't deny that you have it, though.
I mean, we were recently shipping artifacts. I told you this, but I haven't seen this pyramid-shaped one you've described specifically.
Right. Well, regardless, that object was accessed, and I could feel its energy. And when I reached out to touch the energy, I felt and saw Berkin, and we were witnessing a vision that I have already seen. Now, I am of interest as to your exact ties to these artifacts, and how you got them, where you got them, and why you would sell them.
Look, we picked these artifacts up off some street thugs, and they sold them to some nonsensical antiquity seller who gave us a bad deal. Mostly the credits were why we were doing it.
Yeah, we're just looking for work. I mean, we got this cool ship now, and it takes a lot to keep running.
Oh, yes.
We figured these things looked fancy and could fetch a few credits.
Horizon Intelligence and Transportation, right?
You've heard of us.
Of course I have. It is written in bold letters on the side of your ship.
Yeah,
tell your
some good
friends.
branding, I say so.
Don't we have the commercial still playing on the external speaker too?
Still playing in the hangar bay, yes. So you're looking for work.
Well, that depends on what work is, but yes.
It may have some work for you if you're interested.
It would certainly take a fantastic deal to convince us to work for the Empire. No offense.
She looks around the room and she says, work for the Empire? What Empire? I'm saying that I have a job that I could hire you for, not the Empire.
Well, now we're talking.
That's certainly more agreeable.
What's the payload?
The payload, it's not so much of a cargo run. It's more of an investigation type mission relating to that Sith holocron that you possess. If you were to agree to the job, there's only one thing that you must do.
Hold on. Before we get into that, tell us why you would choose us over these countless Imperial peons who are working for you. What is it we can do that they can't? Why are we special in this?
You're special in this because you have an identical holocron that I have. See, the holocron that you possess, I have a holocron with the exact same visions imprinted into it. So that is one. Two, if I presented this information, my holocron, to the Empire, they believe they are the most powerful entity in the universe, so they would not care. But I'm a little more pragmatic. Threats come in all shapes and sizes, and I believe this threat is larger than the Empire. So while you guys can help me, the answer is I don't know if you can help me. I just know you can help me more than the Empire can.
Well, we're certainly specialists in helping out where the Empire isn't, so.
Perfect. Then all you need to do is capture me.
Capture you? Capture you.
Yes. I cannot leave. If I leave, I desert the Empire. If I desert the Empire, I'm as good as dead. I'm as good as anyone who opposes the Empire, but even worse, because I see what comes for you when you desert the Empire.
All right, I hear what you're saying, but are you walk around here with an air of power, I see it. Does the Empire consider you someone of worth, someone of power?
Yes, until they do. However, if my line of thought does not line up with theirs, well...
But if the Empire believes that you are someone of power and you are captured by a bunch of hapless, smuggler types like us, they're going to determine that you're no longer of use to them, and it'll be the same effect. You'll be an outlaw. Is that what you want?
I have a better chance than if I leave of my own will.
We'll have to make it look good on the way out.
Grix looks over at Lurd and kind of shrugs his shoulders in a, I don't see why not kind of manner.
Now, I can have it so that our opposition in the hangar is minimal. I can reroute the second brother so that he does not interfere, and I can ensure that neither the Admiral or Moff are there. However, Stormtrooper presence is an uncounted... Stormtrooper presence is going to be difficult to control.
I understand. So, rerouting that second brother person, that sounds like a good enough... we'll take it as we can get it. Here, hold on, though. Before we go any further, part of this deal, I've got a stipulation.
Yes.
If we break you out of here, you have to forgive Berkin for his inattempt to come and rescue you, because he is a good man, and he desired to free you from Jabba's embrace. You have to forgive him. If we break you out of here, you got to agree to that.
Grix, I know Berkin is a good man. I know he did wish to help me. I don't know what his reasons were for. I don't know what his reasons were for not trying to contact me or save me. However, there's nothing that can be done now about it. But I will say that I don't hold any ill will to that effect. So that's not even on the table to begin with. I'm a very practical person. I typically don't hold grudges against anyone. What happened to me is because I took a bad job.
All I'm saying is give him a chance.
Yes.
Anyway, all right. How do you distract this second brother type? What can we do to help?
First of all, we will not be able to leave with their tractor beams functional. So you're going to have to find a way to deactivate that. I will need 10 minutes to redirect the second brother and the Admiral and the Moff and any other serious forces away from the hangar bay. But in about 10 minutes, I can meet you in the hangar and we will do what we must. Again, as you will need to make it a show, I will also need to make a show of it. But trust me when I say that I will not kill you or harm you. Anything I do is just for appearances.
Oh, they're going to know you've gone bad. Oh, well, Lord, we'll put on a show, right?
Yeah, you, about that show, you got any guns we could borrow?
You don't have guns? Oh, I guess they wouldn't let you here with guns. Yeah, I have guns. 2 doors down from this room, there is it's sort of a break room for some of the stormtroopers. If you go in there, you might be able to find some. I don't know. Just check there. Maybe there's a couple of stormtroopers that you can manhandle and take their guns from.
All right, yeah, I'm sure we can figure something out.
Otherwise, it would take too long to get to the armory.
Fair enough.
Something over nothing.
She extends her hand in to shake yours.
No, Lord will shake her hand.
Grix will shake her hand as well.
As she's shaking your hand, she'll say, "Don't pull any punches. They will know." And then she walks out of the room.
God, you think she's always that intense with those eyes?
Yeah, it is a bit much sometimes. I'm just glad she wasn't too angry at us for shooting at her a bunch.
I cannot believe we are not dead.
Man.
All right, well.
Do we have comms with KO?
You do.
All right, let's see what KO's up to. Hey, come in, KO, you there? Where are you guys at?
Are you still in the room with Nephrim?
No, she's gone.
My God, KO's not responding. They've taken him.
Hang on.
Little bird to mechanical sparrow. You got time for a chin wag over.
Are we not observing radio silence here? No, I guess we wouldn't be because you have no idea that we're doing anything.
Yeah, they're doing their own thing. We're doing our own thing.
Right. But I mean, there's no reason for them to think that there's no reason why they shouldn't contact me.
Yeah, as far as we know, you're still on the ship with a frozen Berkin.
Yeah.
Could have turned my communicator off.
Yeah, you might have.
Would they be jamming our comms anyway? We are on an Imperial starship.
Aaron, did I connect to their Wi-Fi when we got on board?
There's no Wi-Fi in Star Wars.
All right, but yeah, do you have your comm on or not?
No, I wouldn't have expected them to suddenly call us, given that they were, basically captured. So, all right. You want to call KO again?
I'd have my comm set to off.
Hey, KO, you there?
Aaron, first of all, where are KO and Berkin? Are we somewhere where we can talk? I don't know, quietly.
So I think
we were still hiding outside the ship. We were talking about going to a console, and I also still have the Sith relic in my possession.
You do.
Yeah, do you want to flip to those guys?
Well, yeah, we're gonna flip to the other guys. So it says that jamming devices existed on ships. What was the device to use? I don't know. We're just gonna say that a star destroyer has a jamming signal within it. So any device that's not on a specific encrypted frequency will be jammed. So your communications are not working. We're going to say that. Unless anyone wanted communications to be working, but I feel like the vibe is that we don't want comms working.
That could be something that can be disabled later as well once we're taking out the tractor beam, etc.
Who wants comms working?
KO doesn't really, because KO is trying to be somewhat stealthy.
Yeah, I think it's more interesting if they don't.
Elliot, opinion?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay. So yeah, comms are jammed. So you try to get a hold of KO and you hear like a static sound coming through. And it's familiar to previous experiences for you that when your communications have been jammed. And thinking about it, it makes perfect sense seeing where you are right now.
Yeah, it seems like they're jamming our comms. Figures. Well, should we go check out this break room, see if we can't find any gear.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
And on that line, we'll cut away from you two back to KO and Berkin. KO and Berkin, you guys have just left the hangar bay safely and undetected. So you're basically in a hallway just outside of the hangar at the moment.
Right, you know the schematics of this place.
Well, not this specific ship.
Well, a lot
Search your databanks. You know it to be true.
I search my databanks.
That's a good line. Yeah. So in your databanks, KO, you know that not every Star Destroyer is exactly the same. Some are customized, but usually that's at the request of an admiral or a Moff or someone like that. But you know that a lot of Star Destroyers share a very similar layout. So you can make a well-educated guess on the location of most of the rooms or whatever you're looking for.
All right, then I take us to a room with a data pad or a data console that I can jack into.
Yeah, you can easily find one of those.
So I'm going to take out my blaster pistol
Okay.
and just hold it ready just in case we run into complications. Unless we want to try the prisoner trick. Maybe let's do that. Let's do that instead.
Let's do get them or help.
Get help.
Get help. So yeah, I'll keep my blaster pistol ready, but I'll keep my hands together as if I'm being held in restraints.
Sure, and I'll walk behind you then with escorting you along, ready to smack you if you get uppity.
Excellent. All right. So do we run into any like foot traffic?
At some point, you're going to run into some foot traffic here. What are you guys doing to get around potential foot traffic?
Nothing. I'm a Imperial security droid escorting a prisoner through the ship. I'm walking like I belong, and I know what I'm doing.
Yep. And I am playing the despondent, captured rebellion activist person with my hands held in front of me like I'm held in restraints, with my blaster pistol ready just in case.
But obviously not showing.
But obviously not showing or being held.
Yeah. The blaster pistol is obviously concealed. But yeah, okay. So if that's the plan, how about I get a combined deception check from you guys? Or, deception, skullduggery, stealth, something like that.
All the same stat pool, dude.
Or if you could justify using a different skill for this.
Well,
piloting.
I am trained in deception.
Yeah, justify piloting for me.
Well, I'm piloting us down the corridor.
Okay, you're just walking?
But I'm a mechanical droid, so there's, I'm piloting.
You want to set that precedence for future roles where you might need to pilot your legs in a certain way, KO?
Yes.
No, we can't do that. No.
All right. So
I've got 2 yellows and a green if we want to do a combined.
Sure.
Sounds like 2 yellows and a green, which isn't bad.
All right. So can we get a boost die added to this because of KO's inherent camouflage?
You can have 2 boost die for that.
Oh yeah. You want me to roll on this one, or do you want to? KO?
Oh no! They said, well, it's a combined. So what does that mean? What do we do?
KO's got 1 green, so just do the roll. Just do the roll, Berkin.
Yeah, I didn't want to, come right out and say I'm absolutely terrible at this, but I am. So yeah,
just your presence helps. That's
yeah.
I only have a 1 in presence though.
Well, the fact that you look like you should be here.
Your existence rather than presence, I guess, helps.
How many difficulty are we talking about here?
We'll make it average just because stormtroopers I don't think are too keen.
Okay.
Or too perceptive, rather.
That will be 3 successes with 1 advantage.
Oh, yeah. So you're guiding your prisoner down the hallways of the Star Destroyer. You're passing various stormtroopers that are walking by. You haven't seen a commander yet, though, but you're getting the vibe that stormtroopers they're still kind of getting used to seeing the presence of an Imperial security droid. They're quite intimidating for droids, and most of the stormtroopers that you come across end up actually basically crossing the hallway when they see you, just to not, just to get some distance between you and them. And no one seems to give you any trouble as you're going through the various hallways as you make your way towards the room, towards the closest room with the data terminal. So yeah, you enter this room. I was trying to figure what sort of room do you think this is? Because I certainly have no idea.
I think it's just like an alcove, like the one that Kylo Ren tore to shreds in a fit of rage.
Oh yeah, that's a very good idea. I like that.
So we're just we're out in the open in the hallway then.
Kind of, but it's like a less. It's a hallway with less foot traffic. It's kind of at the end of a hallway that leads to like some crew quarters or something like that, and it's in like a little alcove. Yeah. Might be where the crew members clock in for their shift that day or something.
It'd be like an electrical closet in an apartment complex up on one of the mid floors, as opposed to like the main electrical room in the parkade.
Sure,
something like that. Yeah.
Cool. So KO will then kind of push Berkin into like the corner and like kind of block him a little bit from view.
Sounds good.
And then he'll extend his data rod and jack into the terminal.
Okay, yeah.
We're calling it these days.
You shunt into the terminal and it gives you access because you're an Imperial security droid. Why wouldn't it?
Cool. So KO will look for look through the database, see if he can find out. Oh God, you're gonna make it to computers. Try to find out why perhaps they captured us, and then where the tractor beam control center is. System tractor beam control.
KO. These ships, these destroyers, they're usually operated by one commander, right? Who's the one that's operating this one?
Can I get that information for him?
You want to know who's in charge of this Star Destroyer?
Is that what we're asking? That would be a good thing to know, I think.
You do know. He hailed you while you were in the while you were locked on with the tractor beam, or before you were locked on with the tractor beam. He warned you that there were 60 turbo lasers targeting you. He addressed himself as Admiral Tengil.
Okay. Yes, without even accessing the system here, I can tell you it was Admiral Tengil is in charge of this Star Destroyer, as he told us before we even got here.
Right. So what does he have against us? Why did he sick those 2 Sith Inquisitors on us?
Beep, boop, beep, click, click, whir.
Okay, so you guys are trying to find this information in the computer.
At this point, yes.
So you do have full access, but I just want actually, no, it's fine. So from what you guys can pull up here, it doesn't really, there's not a lot of information that says anything about you guys. There's just a small note in one of the Third Sister's reports that says target of interest found on Ryloth, detain anyone coming out of the atmosphere of Ryloth, and she needs to question some of them. That's literally the only information you can find in here. Scompling, that's what it's called, yeah.
Yeah, I walk over to KO and I kind of look over his shoulder. Who gave that order?
Beep, boop, click, whir.
You're the one who's jacked in, man.
I know, but you're asking me, and then I just have to immediately ask Aaron because I don't know. I don't have this information, man.
So you're asking who gave that order?
To detain us.
That was the Third Sister.
So it just says Third Sister, okay.
It says here one of the Inquisitors was ordered to obtain us. Excellent. Good news.
One of the Inquisitors ordered the Star Destroyer to basically prevent anyone from leaving atmosphere in the area that they were at.
Okay, how many, just as a question for Aaron, how many stormtroopers, like what kind of internal defenses does something like this ship have? Like,
Good
as in,
question.
if our cover gets blown, how many people do I have to shoot in order to get back to the ship?
So basically, at this point, KO can start listing off the various complements of the Star Destroyer. There's around 9,000 officers, around 25,000 enlisted enlisted members total. There's around 10,000 stormtroopers. There's around 50 TIE fighters. Like, just go to the Wikipedia page and start reading out the complement.
Wikipedia page for Star Destroyers.
Yeah, you can literally just go here and start reading out the complement section and the armament section. You can literally just read out the whole sidebar if you want.
All right, what
That's
was
funny.
Berkin's question again?
How many people do I have to shoot to get back to the ship, basically? What kind of internal defenses do they have?
Well, it looks like you'll have to kill approximately 37,000 crew member. Only 9,700 of which are stormtroopers, so there is that. Looks like most of the armament is on the outside of the ship.
All right, so we're not going to have to worry about doors closing on us then, is what you're saying.
I'm sure they can close whatever doors they want to close.
Okay, is there any way we can circumvent that from happening? Put a lock on the doors from this terminal?
I do believe we just shoot the door panel if we want it to stay closed.
That works for me.
Or if we want the door panel to open, we also shoot it.
Yeah, doors work really. They have a lot of complicated functions when you break a door panel. Like if you want a door closed to stay closed, if it's open, you have to shoot the panel with the intent to close it and lock it, or you can shoot it with the intent to just like disable the pad, and that's fine. It's really about your intent, what you intend.
Is that a setting on my gun?
The no,
it's a
see how-
feeling.
Yeah, the door panels in Star Wars, they're all like connected to the Force because the Force is in everything, and it reads your emotions, and depending on your emotions and what you want to happen with the door at the time, it feeds off of that and then listens. So long as you destroy it in the process.
Okay. All right, so I'll go over to KO. All right, so you're saying there's a lot of people on this ship, which means there's a good chance that they can't get coordinated enough for us to get back to the ship. All right, so what can we do now? We've got the information we need. We just need to turn off the tractor beam and find a way to make sure that the ship is clear of any troopers or Sith Inquisitors.
You do know where the location of the tractor beam is, KO? Like where the control room is for that. You know that you kind of have to walk onto an oddly shaped little area, and for some reason they put like the lever that you got to throw on like a side that looks over like a massive hole, or was that the
And there's no railings either.
Wasn't that just
that was in it was in the Mandalorian, man, with Bill Burr.
That was at a base, though.
Yeah, it's at a base. Their designs are probably similar, right?
Probably.
I mean, Kenobi did that. Kenobi did that on that was the Death Star, wasn't it?
There's a narrow pathway, and then the control is like on the side where there's an even more narrow pathway, but like maybe like 6 inches. They really like their engineers committed, I think, is the thing.
Okay, so Berkin he like stops moving for half a second, and then he stands like straight up. KO, where are the living quarters for the third sister? Where are the living quarters for the third sister?
We should stay far away from any Inquisitors.
Right now, those Inquisitors are on our ship. This is a fantastic opportunity to find out more about them. This is the only opportunity that we're going to have. Yes, I realize it's an absolutely horrible idea.
All right, I give him the. Is that information in here too? Do we got second sister, third brother, whatever quarter information? Is that like something they store in the databanks?
You would have to search the system to find it. It's not in your databanks, but searching the system, she doesn't seem to have a room aboard the Star Destroyer. It doesn't even list her as a personnel on the destroyer.
Makes sense. She wouldn't be like part of this ship. She would just go wherever she wants. She wants to ride on a Star Destroyer. She gets to ride on a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
But she doesn't she's not listed as staying in these guest quarters or anything.
No, and Inquisitors were they weren't like known to everyone.
What kind of person wouldn't have any sort of quarters on the ship of this size? What are they trying to get at anyway?
Likely they're trying to kill us or enslave us, but probably kill.
Okay, well, I don't want that to happen to either of us. I'm too young to die and you're too pretty. So, what else? Is there anything else we can do to give us a better chance of escaping this destroyer? Can we disable the weapons, or even better, is there a way that we can reduce the efficacy of their weapons so it still looks like they can fire their weapons and it doesn't come up as an error message or whatnot, as a warning? Just doesn't do any damage to our shields.
At this point, Kea will just disconnect his scomp link from the terminal and gesture towards it.
By all means, please look for a way to decrease the efficacy rates of the turbo lasers from this terminal.
All right, I will do so. I'll hop over. Yep, that's what I'm doing. And I'm also going to decrypt our communications so we can operate our comm channels.
So I'm turning this over to you because I would have no idea how to. This is like this is hacking and stuff at this point. I'm just like, I can find information, but I'm not going to be able to do this stuff.
All right. He can make the check, but this is going to be extremely hard to do. All right.
Hard is my middle name.
Can we even do it from this terminal? I would imagine we'd have to get in weapons control or something. Or
that's why it's going to be extremely hard.
How hard?
So you can give me a computer check, 4 difficulty, 2 red.
I'm going to boost this.
Boost it. Don't tell him first. Just do it.
By all means.
Anything else? You going to toss a setback die at me?
Can I give him a boost die for for me accessing the system and having knowledge of Imperial computer structures?
You can have 1 boost die for your access to the system and not having to go through any back doors or hidden channels, anything like that. But you get 2 setback die for the simple fact that this is one of the most advanced ships in the galaxy, and the sort of operating system is incredibly difficult to navigate, and all of that.
Okay, so seeing as I'm also decrypting the communications, so we can communicate with the others. Can I use my code breaker to remove one of the setback die?
Yeah, you can remove one of the setback die with your code breaker,
and also decrease the difficulty of checks by 1.
You have code breaker does that.
Code breaker, yeah. So let me read this because I don't want to say that I'm fudging stuff here.
Yeah. How does code breaker work, Travis?
Codebreaker removes 1 setback die per rank in Codebreaker from the checks to break codes or decrypt communications. And it also decreases the difficulty of checks to break codes or decrypt communications by 1. So I know I kind of jumbled it all up in there, but I definitely want to be able to reopen our line of communication with the others. And I also want to see about affecting their weaponry so it doesn't set off an alarm, but it's still not as effective as a full 100%,
Okay.
Bolt,
okay.
So.
Absolutely. So you can decrease the difficulty by 1, but I think that's just going to remove 1 red die. So you're going to be left with 1 red and 3 purples, I think.
Yeah, that's
how it downgrades.
Yep. I'm okay with that. I mean, this is going to be a ridiculously hard check to begin with.
Yes.
Ooh. Berkin rolls.
Oh.
So I failed.
Well, you didn't just fail.
With 1 advantage, and I rolled a despair.
All right. So here's what happens. You try to access the systems to try and decrease the power of the turbo lasers and any potential upcoming threats, and you think you have it. You think you really nailed it. You were specifically targeting the turbo lasers nearest to the hangar, but the operating system being very difficult to use, the specific code that you were altering turned out to be code for a component in the hangar bay. So what you actually did is, with your despair, is you basically placed a clamp onto the deceit. So now that the seat is clamped in the hangar bay. So to remove the clamp, so you're going to have to try and figure out a way to remove the clamp in the future. You realize what you've done here, and you can't seem to undo whatever you did. Your advantage is that you did manage to fix the comm links after that. In defeat, you're like, well, at least I'm going to get a win here. And you managed to shut down the communications jammer. And you did it in a way that no one's going to notice unless they specifically go to look for that piece of information.
So yeah, no, I'll stand back. I'll stand upright and I'll kind of cross my arms and put my thumb underneath my chin and kind of stare down at the console. Well, that's no good. And I look at KO.
What's no good?
We need to go right now.
Go where?
Back to the ship.
We haven't disabled the tractor beam.
Well, I don't think we're going to have any time. For you see, I may have accidentally clamped the ship to the hangar bay, and I cannot, for the life of me. It's not my fault. This is the first time I've used an operating console of this nature, so please don't yell at me. I realize I made a mistake. But right now, we need to move back to that hangar and disable that.
After we disable the boot on the ship, how will we get past the tractor beam?
So, Berkin, you didn't set anything time-wise, and no one really knows what you did. It's just in the hangar bay, there was a clamp that came out and clamped your ship down.
So he doesn't know?
So you know that you did that, but you know that doing that isn't going to be super detrimental to the time that you're spending here. You know that you're just as fucked if you get back there in 2 minutes versus half an hour.
Right, but if we get back there in 2 minutes, that gives us a more time to deal with it than by taking our time here and alerting the entire ship to the fact that we're doing shit. That's all I was thinking. That's fine.
Okay. I just want to move away from the scene to get back to Laird and
please do.
Grix.
Please do. So and I'll say that and go. We still need to disable the tractor beam. Let's do that and let's hurry back to the ship.
That's what I said.
I feel like KO should say that.
Okay. You do that.
KO did say that.
All right. I'm sorry. I was just
okay
in the moment.
Okay. Feel like we should disable the tractor beam. Perfect. And yeah, we star swipe over to Grix and Laird. You guys are just exiting a break room. The door slides open. You exit the room. You see two unconscious stormtroopers in there with the little birdie swirling over their heads, and you have two what are they, D11 blaster rifles?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, E11 blaster rifles. That's great.
Do you have the stats for an E11?
I do.
Or whatever?
Yeah, there's bound to be one here.
Oh, I got an E11 sniper rifle, so it's a little bit beefed up.
E11 blaster carbine. It has a rarity of 9. Nope, that's an E11D. I think it's probably just pretty similar to a normal blaster rifle, because the E11D is what the Death Troopers carried. So it's got a damage of 9, a range of long, accurate 1, cumbersome 3, stun setting. Oh, this is the heavy. It's the heavy blaster. Yeah, that's fine. Crits on a 4. Both of you guys got that?
Yep.
Grix, got that?
Yeah, mostly.
All right. If you need any information about that, just let me know and I'll tell you.
Okay. Man,
yeah, that's where we leave. Sorry, go ahead.
What were you going to say? That's where we leave off?
I was just going to reaffirm. Yeah, that's where we left off. You guys are leaving the room with blaster rifles.
You got to show me how you did those moves there, Laird. The way you took out those stormtroopers like that was amazing.
Laird holds up his hand. Yeah, this old repulsor fist got us through a lot.
Love that repulsor fist.
It's scary now.
Did you do upgrades to it?
I've been doing, through that specialization tree, the perks that we get, I've been tinkering with it to lower its crit rating to 1.
Oh, amazing.
So it's just a crit machine, basically.
Are you Gadgeteer or Assassin?
Gadgeteer.
That's great.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. It's slow firing, but it almost guarantees a crit.
That's so good. So yeah, what are you guys doing now? What's your plan?
Right, I guess we're on to the next task of that distraction we promised. You got any ideas there, Lurd?
Yeah, I think we're supposed to meet Nephrim over by the hangar. At that spot she said to meet her.
All right, maybe when we get closer to the hangar, we should try. I'll try to calm KO when we get a little closer. Maybe we can cut through the jamming.
All right, let's make our way over there.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So now that you guys are carrying weapons that are kind of hard to conceal, I'm going to need you guys to give me a check for the encounters that you're going to end up having in the hallway. What are you going to do when you're confronted by a pair of stormtroopers?
I'm going to have the blaster under my cloak and just walk around with purpose and hope no one stops me.
Okay. And Grix?
Yeah, the same thing.
You got a cloak now?
No, hang on. Let me see. I just need to read my sheet for a minute.
Sure. Man, that is such a bad time for despair.
Kidding? That was amazing.
It's great. It's just like such a bad time to get a despair. I love it.
All right. Yeah, Grix is going to try to just kind of attach the blaster to his hip and try to do his best to look like a mechanic.
Okay, sure.
Mechanic.
Yeah, he's wearing a mechanic's utility suit, so he's going to try to blend in.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Pull out his data pad and run some numbers.
Okay, then KO and Grix. Not KO. Fuck, I haven't done that in a long time. Wow. Lurd and Grix. Can I get stealth, skullduggery, something like that sort of check? Difficulty of average to conceal or hide these blasters.
Yeah, I'll roll stealth.
I'll also roll stealth.
Is there a difficulty?
Yeah, average.
So Grix has rolled 0 successes, 3 advantage, but my reflex shadow skin attachment to my armor adds an automatic success symbol to my stealth checks.
Beautiful. Then you succeed.
Lurd rolls 3 successes and 1 threat.
Okay. So yeah, you both succeed. Do you have any idea what to spend your advantages on, Grix?
As we are making our way through the hallways, we notice a particular chasm that we cross through, and Grix notices an odd-looking control platform, sort of out on an edge, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little kind of funny looking, and it's like, hey, that look like a tractor beam controller over there.
It's worth checking out.
Can we stumble across a tractor beam control location?
Yeah, this is good. You stumble across a tractor beam location, and it's got that narrow walkway onto the ledge that you kind of have to walk out to activate the lever. And as you're about to cross, shuffling towards you is KO and Berkin. You couldn't see them previously because they were hiding behind this large component. And Berkin and KO, you see Lurd and Grix. You guys have just finished shutting down the tractor beams. So if anyone wants to reactivate the tractor beams, they have to come onto this narrow ledge and push the lever the opposite direction.
No way, man. Like, do I see them?
Yeah, you see them.
Okay, I take my blaster out and I point it at them, and I realize it's them, and I look at them and I whisper, "What are you doing off the ship?
We got a new job, guys."
But
we need to get out of here right now. Do you know how many stormtroopers and officers and freaking janitors there are on this ship?
I do.
KO knows, and I point to
yes.
KO. And I know, but do you know? There's a lot, and we need to get out of here as soon as we can.
Okay, here's the skinny, real fast. Nephrim's in on a job for us. We're breaking her out. Yeah, that's right. Nephrim, you remember her? She's alive. We got to break her out. That's the job. She's going to pay us, but she's going to go distract that other Inquisitor, like the second brother, third, well, I don't know, whatever his name was.
What on earth is Why does...
Don't worry about it. Look, we got to make a big distraction. She's going to cover the guards. We got to get out of here.
How does Nephrim have to do with the Imperials? Are they that short on droid mechanics that they'd go and hire her? Whatever happened to her anyway? She was.
Berkin, it's a long story. We can fill you in on the ship, but we have to get heading back. We're supposed to rendezvous with Nephrim and act like we're kidnapping her.
Why? Why would we do that? It seems like
To help her out of here.
Do you think she's
we want to help her out of here.
Empire?
Do you not want to help her out of here?
Well, I just want to know what she's doing with the Empire in the first place.
Look,
There's this whole backstory with slavery and selling her around.
Oh,
She ended up in the hands of the Empire because she
never
used
called,
force.
never wrote.
Yeah, I was supposed to
One at a
do
time.
something with her.
One at a time.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
That's right. I was supposed to do something with her. But she never called, so I thought she was okay.
Yeah, it turns out being a slave for Jabba is pretty bad deal. But don't worry, she's over it. No grudges.
You know what? Fine, whatever. We've got to get off of this ship one way or the other. If we have to take on an extra person, that's one more person to help us take off that locking clamp. Now let's go.
This is good because I don't think you guys told her that. Did you tell her that she's an Inquisitor?
No.
It's good. It's going to be a good reveal. Again. Okay, so you guys accidentally meet up and hastily make your return back to the hangar bay and the ship.
So, how did you make it this far into the ship without running into anybody? KO had to pretend that I was a prisoner.
You got a little bit of confidence, you can get into anywhere these days. Besides, Lurd's fist kind of shuts him up.
Yeah, Lurd flexes his hand. Yeah, confidence.
Grix shrugs.
So yeah,
Berkin shrugs, takes out his blaster. All right, then. Confidence it is.
so you hastily make your way back to the hangar bay. The tractor beam controls aren't extremely far away. They're pretty close to the hangar. So you get back there in a pretty quick amount of time, nearing the 10 minutes that Nephrim said to that Nephrim said she needed. And you get into the hangar. The hangar, it looks like Nephrim's done what she said she would. And most of the people that were in here are gone. There's just a handful of stormtroopers left. The ones by the entrances and exits, and a small group of them kind of hanging around some sort of some cargo crates, and they look pretty casual and they're talking. Their weapons are set on top of the crates, and there's maybe a total of 7 in here in total. In here now, you can see that your ship is perfectly fine, with the exception of this large mechanical clamp that has been attached to it. So that's new.
That is a lot larger than what that line of text said it would be. I am so sorry.
Wait, did you have something to do with those maglocks?
Look, I said it to KO before. This is my first time dealing with an Imperial system. I am not good at it. I apologize. I did the best I could. And unfortunately, that happened. So
Please don't yell at me.
don't yell at me. Let me just deal with this internally. And if you could help me out by simply assisting in the removal of the clamp, and we can go on our merry way. All right? But I'm already beating myself up internally. Believe me.
I like how we're the bad guys. That we're supposed to feel bad for questioning Berkin's shitty move.
He's trying to do his best. He's trying to do his best over there.
He knows he's going to get yelled at for it. So he's like, please, I know I fucked up so bad. Please don't yell at me more. I already hate myself at this point. Okay, let's just move past it.
We but some things you just can't move past by just saying that.
Okay.
It's fine though. I'm gonna try to use that myself one of these days. Listen, officer, I know I was speeding. I feel really bad about it. Let's just not give me a hard time about it right now and let me go. Come on, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick about it.
So, yeah, you guys come in here. You see all that. You realize that the ship is now clamped, and you're discussing all that. And after about a minute, the third sister walks in, Nephrim. She's got her helmet back on for the time being, and it's just her that walks in, and her head moves up a bit, sees the clamp on the ship, and approaches you all.
As soon as she walks in and KO sees her, he opens fire.
Yeah, Berkin is immediately going to try to find some cover and take out his blaster pistol and start firing on her. Get on the ship now. Maybe we can just I don't know. Launch from the hangar blade.
Not a word, just opens fire.
Yeah.
She ignites her spinning lightsaber and begins deflecting the blaster bolts.
Oh, Criff. Okay, I'm off to the maglocks.
It's the Sith Inquisitor. This is the one that was on the planet.
I launch a rocket knee.
Yes, should have mentioned this is Nephrim. We do have to fight her. Got to make it look good, and then we kidnap her.
Oh, don't worry. We'll make it look real good.
She's deflecting the blaster bolts with her spinning lightsaber, and she uses her other hand to pull the helmet from her head, and she yells at you guys and says, "Why is there a freaking maglock on the ship?"
So is she now recognizable as Nephrim being a Inquisitor?
Yes.
KO like launches every single fucking weapon he has.
And Nephrim will stop deflecting the bolts for a second and throw her lightsaber towards you. It does that spinning thing that it does that looks really cool. And you're like, wow, I really like saber throw. It's the greatest thing in the world, right? You know how that is?
I could do without it.
Man, I love saber throw. It's one of my favorite things.
Oh, it's sick. When Yoda spears that dude.
Oh, so good. So good.
Here's Ryan Johnson's version of a saber throw.
Wow. Nice. It's a good reference. Also, oof. And the saber's flying towards you guys. It curves at the last minute and flies towards the maglock, cutting the maglock entirely in half, breaking the ship free. And then the lightsaber obviously returns back to her hand. And she says, "Well, we don't have time to worry about this anymore." And she begins running towards the ship.
Okay, at this point, Grix will run. He's got to get to the bridge. So he will run on board.
You were the one on the planet that was in my head?
Just said I wanted to talk. Why couldn't you just talk? And she throws her lightsaber towards the stormtroopers, decapitating a few of them.
Okay, that makes Berkin kind of like stop firing for a moment there. What's your game, Nephrim?
You want to talk about this now or later when we're out of danger?
We can never trust her. She's an Inquisitor.
I kind of grumble under my breath and kind of growl out in rage. Fine. KO, let's just hear what the others have to say.
This is a big moment for you guys, so I want you all to make me either a perception or vigilance check on Nephrim to see what you can glean from all of this.
I mean, I'm sure the others got confirmation of a large payout. I mean, they confirmed that we're getting paid a lot of credits for this job, right? A number was given of some kind, an assurance, some sort of agreement was drawn. I wasn't there for that meeting, but I'm certain that they would have acquired some sort of confirmation of some sort of payment of some kind.
We actually never finalized the terms of payment, but it's also understood that an enemy of the Empire may or may not have a lot of credits immediately. Only assets.
Okay, so if I'm going to be rolling a perception check, what kind of difficulty are we using here?
We're going to make this just we'll make it an average difficulty. And those of you that are connected, those of you that are force sensitive can throw in your force rating on the die too.
You want everybody doing this?
Yes.
Do I get a boost die because we're psychically linked now through the force, through the Sith hologram?
Are you a dyad?
Yeah, am I a dyad with Nephrim?
You're not a dyad. I don't really care a lot for the dyads. You were connected through the holocron. It had nothing to do with being connected to her through the force.
Okay, well, I'm still carrying that holocron.
Can they trade items through the force?
That particular skill is pretty advanced, so no.
Oh.
Okay, so no boost die. Gotcha.
All right, Laird rolled 1 success on the perception check.
KO, you can throw in your force rating in there too.
I didn't want to.
Okay.
I succeeded anyways. KO rolled 1 success and 1 threat.
Okay.
Grix has rolled 2 successes, 1 threat.
Well, if I count my light side as a success, I get 1 success and 1 triumph.
Okay. So we'll start with Laird and Grix. Your interaction with Nephrim in the room went pretty well. You both realized that you hadn't asked for a price on it, but you also knew that time kind of seemed of the essence there. Grix, you can take 1 point of strain because she was quite intimidating in there. She was very intense. But otherwise, you believe her story and you trust her to a certain extent. You feel like you could trust her to a certain extent at this point.
From a certain point of view.
KO, that's a bit of a more complicated issue for you. You did get a threat. So, I mean, you can take a point of strain just because I think the sight of Nephrim just gets your kyber crystal boiling. But I think what kind of would make you hesitate a little bit is not so much when she freed the ship with her lightsaber, but when she was willing to decapitate her own soldiers. That maybe sent a little bit of hesitation in you. And while you don't trust her, maybe you can put aside the grudge for the time being. But that's up to you, of course. But yeah, you don't feel like I mean, do it that what you will. Berkin, triumph, success, light side point. I mean, there's part of you that feels bad for not trying to look for her or help her. You did what you could to help her, of course, but there was extenuating circumstances. And while you do have some regrets for that, I'm sure, you've never, you in this moment, you feel something through the Force. And though you're not particularly powerful with sensing the Force in other people, this is perhaps one of the first moments where you have sensed the power of someone through the Force. And while you're picking up a lot of dark side energies from Nephrim, you're also picking up light side energies from her too. So I would say she doesn't give you any cause for distrust either. So do with that what you will, but otherwise, Nephrim is currently heading onto the ship. What do you guys do?
Laird is going to shoot at... Yeah, Laird's going to shoot at some stormtroopers. Okay. I'm going to miss that opportunity.
You can give me the attack roll. We'll see how many you kill. Probably all of them with your disgusting amount of damage that you do. Oh, wait, you don't have the rotary cannon.
No.
Right.
Just punch them.
So they were ranged heavy?
Yes, it was ranged heavy.
With accurate 1?
Yep.
And what would be the difficulty for this? How far away are they?
They're within your range. They're not very far. They're at most medium range.
Okay.
So yeah, call it 2 difficulty.
All right. That'll be 4 successes and 1 triumph.
Yeah. So how much damage is that?
It's base damage 9, so that would be 13.
Okay, yeah. So you can kill so you lay out some suppressing fire and end up killing 4 of the stormtroopers. So basically, yeah, this between that and Nephrim's lightsaber throw, the immediate stormtrooper threat in the hangar bay is dealt with. However, there is that Star Destroyer klaxon going off. You know, that meow, meow, meow. And in the background, you still hear that Horizon Intelligence and Transportation audio commercial playing.
We're here for you.
So
this thing's still on. Click.
It's still on. Yeah.
All right, shut it up. Let's go. Grix.
Yeah, Lord will start running for the ship.
Get ready for light speed. Right now, from the hangar bay.
You know how dangerous that is.
I don't care.
Okay, where are you at?
Yeah, I just hop on the ship. We dealt with the boot, right? Did she just I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah, she threw her lightsaber and disconnected the boot from the ship.
I must have missed it from the myriad of explosions that were going off in front of me as I unloaded my arsenal.
Probably. Maybe you give a quick glance to the boot and you realize that the arm's been cleanly cut off and it's still glowing a little red from the heat that was applied to it.
Well, if the way is clear, then hop on the ship.
Okay. So everyone boards the ship. Grix, I assume, swiftly makes towards the hangar cockpit deck.
The bridge.
Fuck, man. Words are hard sometimes, huh? And the engine is spooling because I believe Tally would have noticed the commotion going on outside and began spooling up the engines.
Instinctive.
Yeah.
Well, she's a good co-pilot.
Yeah. And yeah, you guys board. The ramp goes up, the cargo lift goes up, and the seat begins lifting off. And what are you guys doing inside now? Grix is obviously heading towards the bridge. What about the rest of you?
Back to the bridge to assist in our jump to hyperspace. I'm going to guess we have to man the guns and ship systems again. Since we didn't manage to affect the Star Destroyer's weapons.
Laird's going to head to a gunnery position in case we have any followers.
Grix, why don't you give me a piloting space check?
Okie doke. One moment. Do you have a difficulty rating for that?
Yeah, we'll make it hard. We'll make it hard, but you get you can have 2 boost die because the complement on the Star Destroyer, none of the officers or anyone is kind of prepared for this. They didn't expect this. They thought that they had you well under control and that the Inquisitors had you well under control as well. So they're a little surprised and stumbling or fumbling to get to their battle stations.
All right. Grix has rolled 0 successes and 2 advantages.
Okay.
With Master Pilot, I can make any maneuver an action.
Okay.
So by taking strain. So could I take strain and succeed?
Can you take strain and succeed?
I guess not. Never mind.
I mean, you could, using Master Pilot, you could take strain to, perform the check again.
Ooh, that's true, actually.
Because you're a Master Pilot.
Good call.
I would allow that.
All right. I got to use my brain more here.
This is what Grix is good at. What he is damn good at.
He's good at other stuff, too.
Mostly going fast.
He's good at going fast.
Ooh, okay.
Does he live his life 60 seconds at a time, or what's it?
I live my life
story.
a quarter parsec at a time.
Okay,
Grix.
So Grix is going to use his Master Pilot abilities to take some strain, and he's going to try to pilot better. But he gets 1 failure, 1 advantage, and 1 triumph.
Okay. So yeah, you're used to going fast. You're really you're a great pilot. You're still going to get out of here. It's just this ship is a little larger than you're used to.
She got hips.
So you're bumping around a little bit and trying to get out of the hangar bay.
You saying our ship is thick, dude?
It's thick. Double C.
It's got
to where it counts. For your triumph, as you're leaving the hangar bay and you're heading out into space, trying to pilot away from the Star Destroyer as fast as you possibly can. The turbo lasers on the Star Destroyer are beginning to target you and are trying to target you, but they can't seem to land a single blow on you. So their shots are going wide, and it's kind of odd because turbo blasters, they're usually pretty accurate and they hit very hard. So what happened is, while Berkin didn't manage to deactivate them or decrease their power levels, he did manage to accidentally disable their targeting systems. So basically, they're not able to get a lock on you, and they're just firing blindly towards you, which, as it turns out, it's pretty hard to do.
Well, I don't know who we've got to thank. I don't know who we've got to thank for this aim, but those turbo laser operators can't operate for
It's
hot
me.
minute
It's
here.
me. You can thank me.
Is that you back there, Berkin? Great work.
I have no idea. I don't know if I
Just
did that
takes
or not.
credit for it anyway. I love it.
Yeah, we couldn't say anything when there was a problem, but now that there's a benefit, it's like, nope, that was me. I did it.
Totally. That's me. That's all me.
Now we can talk about it. We will heap praise upon you after we get out of here.
Perfect. And then there are a couple TIE fighters heading towards you. So Laird, just give me a gunnery check to see if we can shake them or destroy them, rather.
All right. Difficulty?
Difficulty is average because they're not too far away from you, but they're still within your range. They're about medium distance.
All right. Laird lets loose with 3 successes, 2 advantages.
Okay. So in this kind of impromptu skill challenge that I didn't really give any guidelines for, you succeed. You pop the TIE fighters. They explode in a beautiful explosion. And Grix and Tally are able to spool up the hyperdrive and get out to the nearest system or wherever they managed to astronavigate to.
Arshada.
Ta-da! Yeah, but you guys are otherwise safe.
So we warp to hyperspeed.
And you guys are in hyperspace, and yeah, that's it.
So screen wipe. We leave the system and enter the starfield.
Yeah, to wherever you guys are going.
Cool.
Do 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 do.